at least that's some attempt to make this a little bit safer to work at. But anyway, hey everybody, welcome back to the Let's Play. I know why all of a sudden, since I have a mob switch, there's still mobs spawning in the world. I didn't know this and it took me a while to figure it out, but since the 1.21 updates, the spawn chunks have shrunk significantly, apparently. So that is why, even though I have a mob switch, hostile mobs are still spawning. Looks like I'm gonna have to make something to transport all of those zombie villagers, because I am not breeding them again and trading with them and yada yada yada. Alright. We dug into our tree farm here, into the top, in order to determine the area in which I'm going to house my big tree farm. So we've got, and it's ironic that like the lightning rod is like almost perfectly centered to this circle, so I must have done it pretty well, even though I just eyeballed it. But this is basically the area in which I'm going to house my big tree farm. So with the area we've allocated, I'm gonna have to figure out how to fit an area for mangrove trees. They need to be separate. I'll explain why in a second. Spruce trees and jungle trees and dark oak. Then we've got the crimson and the nylium fungus that we can grow as well. So those are the four areas that we need essentially. And then I need a collection system for all of them. So why do I need to put the mangrove trees separate? So I'm going to do a bit of testing because I might be able to fit them in with the spruce and jungles. But essentially, if I have the same system as below, which is this, if I grow mangrove trees in this, then all of these water blocks, which are not source blocks, will become source blocks. I've shown that in the previous episode in where I discovered it. So yeah, we're gonna need to think about something to do with that. But at the start of this episode, we're gonna do something decorational, because I've done a lot of redstone recently and we need to get cracking with the decorations. So without further ado, since we learned that coal blocks burn, let's get rid of this area. Spends a whole episode making a wither skull farm to get coal blocks, burns all the coal blocks. Let's make sure that everything is going. Alright. Beautiful. A controlled fire for once. Just want to make sure that none of these flames skip over to the edges. Wow, it's kind of hypnotic, isn't it? I think we're fine. This is a bit close, but still. Yeah, I think we're fine. Look at that. I mean, it makes sense that it would burn in hindsight, because what do you put on a barbecue? Coals. Cool. I think I can let that burn now. Watch me return and my whole tree is gone. Right now, this elevator just goes to the service area of the next floor, which... Oh shit! You may have noticed that there's been some changes since the last episode. This tube, for instance. There was a staircase here. I elected to remove that in favor of an elevator. I've also decorated this a little bit. I'm no decorational expert, but I'm happy with this. As well, throughout the whole build, it was a bit dark, so I'm just working on the lighting as I go. Implementing different style of lighting. So it won't be uniform, but I think it looks nice nonetheless. And then, you know, some twisting vines. What are these called? Whoops. Twisting vines. Some twisting vines here. You know, nothing special. This might look a bit weird, but if there's mobs out here, which they do spawn on these... If there's mobs out here, then they can't get in, because there's honey blocks underneath this. So they can't get in, because they, for some reason, I can without jumping, but they can't. Also, I've put in a return system into the main storage below, over here. It's going to be a fair bit of talking in the beginning of the episode here, because I've got a lot to show you guys. I've been busy. So, I've got this ceiling put in with the particles of the pink leaves. I think it looks great, especially from a distance. And then I've got some flowering leaves for the rest of it. Not sure if I'm going to put trapdoors on them, but for now I like this. And then obviously cross beams. We've got our original staircase up, where I just put in this ceiling, essentially. So, ceiling is the only thing that changed, along with the lighting. Made an attempt at, like, an interesting-looking, like, lamp. We've got the access to the service area. Nothing really changed here. Oh, that reminds me. Oh, and in here, I haven't done anything with this wall yet, but that's going to be the first task of today. I've just decorated this up with these trapdoors, and these on the side so that I can hide the bone storage behind there. And I just put some tables here. Yeah, I like these tables. They're not too bad, and then, you know, some flower pots up top with all the different saplings. Yeah, I like it. We are at the third line of bone blocks, but we've still got these two to fill, so that might be a while. The elevator I've shown you, and then down here I just added in a little bit more lighting, and then these as well. Oh, and these as well. That's sort of what I've done in between episodes. Not too satisfied with the floor yet, but as everything seems to be in this world, it's a work in progress. If you know, if I get an idea, I'll try it, and if I don't like it, I'll try and come up with another idea. That's how we do. We don't rush things. So, let me get away from the noise a little bit. What are we gonna do with this wall? So I had an idea for this wall, kind of a mural kind of thing, akin to a sunset. So a lot of reds and a lot of orange going into a blue. And I'm not sure how that's going to work. Right now, this elevator just goes to the service area of the next floor. Which... Oh, shit! Get rid of the fire. You can do this. You've done it before. Back to the mural idea. So yeah, as I said, we're going to go from red to blue, question mark. And then, you know, I'm going to... Basically, how I'm going to do this is I'm going to put the two colors that I want into a gradient generator and then see what blocks are in between. I'll just gather those blocks and then see if I can do anything shape-wise with this wall. Make an outline and then fill it in. That's usually how I do stuff like that. I mean, how do you start something like this? We've got our canvas. So I think I am going to go diagonal, but fairly vertical still. Like, if you picture a straight diagonal would be this, I'm just going to go more like that. But like, stretched out over this whole wall. Let's just put some blocks down and see how that goes. And then let's just continue with the next one and just grab the one after that. Not a lot of red in this, but I don't want the red to be overpowering. So the next one is orange terracotta. Let's do a splotch here. A bit higher. Not too big. Maybe. I am predominantly going to go red here and then yellow there. I have no clue how this is going to turn out. But this is essentially what I'm gonna do, try and make splotches, and then build on those splotches. Like this. This is a bit weird, but maybe I can thicken it up upwards. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm gonna try and do. I mean, I have no idea how this is gonna turn out. We'll just have to have a look. This is gonna be the weird one. Do you know what? I'm just gonna make the whole thing, without taking a distance and looking at it. Because sometimes I find that just detracts from my confidence. Oh, wow, didn't know these took so long to mine. Yeah, sometimes that detracts from my confidence. So I just want to get cracking with it. I mean, occasionally I am going to do this just to make sure, like, this is a bit thin. We've still got a fair bit of wall to go. We're going to trust the process, and we're going to just crack on with it and see what we come up with naturally, without taking too much of a step back. And then I'll bring you guys in when we've got the wall to a point where I'm like, alright, let's just give it a go. I don't know how I did. One thing's for sure, I got way too many resources. But I have more wall. I could do more. But that all depends on how this looks. Let's just have a look. I am not sure. Don't know if you can tell. Okay. Okay. Right. That's not too bad, actually. I don't mind that. You know, it's supposed to be like a sunset kind of thing, and I think, especially with the beehive in it, it's supposed to be viewed from further away. But it doesn't, it's not as overpowering as I thought it would be. Okay. Yeah, I actually quite like that. It just freshens up the room, doesn't it? It doesn't need to be more than that. I think I'm going to leave the side walls as they are. Because doing this all the way around, that would be a lot. So I'm not sure. But yeah, that was mainly what I was worried about, essentially. Cool. Alright. I'm happy with that. Honestly, like, every time I come on this mountain, there's so many animals here. I've no clue why I've killed so many animals on this mountain. Don't sue me. What was I doing out here? Oh yeah, I was despawning all the mobs. Because I've got such a good mob switch at the moment. And getting more of these. I'm putting in the maintenance level right now. Yeah, so this is roughly going to be the maintenance area. And then it should be bigger than this circle up top. I'm just going to drop some sand down. And then I get the diameter of our roof. And then within that, I need to design where the trees are going to grow. And how they're going to grow as well. Well, I've got you guys as well. Obviously, I've got you. You made it this far in the video. But if you don't know what these cyan or light blue wool blocks are, this is where a river is going to go. Possibly. And it's going to be incorporated with the design around the tree. So, I haven't done anything with this mountain just yet, but I was like, where's this river going to come from? And this seemed like a good spot to start the river, but there's nothing here. Free cam won't run this far. Ooh, that was weird. What is that? Oh, that's my mob farm. Getting distracted. But yeah, there's nothing really here to warrant a river coming from that. So I've started designing the origin point of the river. And I gotta say, like, I am well excited for that project. It's gonna be huge again. You know, one thing led to another, and now it's just massive, a massive, massive build. But that seems the way that we do on this channel, apparently. yeah, just wanted to notify you I'm working on it. That's gonna come up, but I'm not sure in which episode. It is so grand that I might just leave it for a particular milestone, because we're nearing 2 milestones. So I've got 62 subscribers at the time of recording this, which I'm very grateful for, by the way. Thank you, each and every one of you who have subscribed. To honor like 100 subscribers, that's like a milestone in my mind. Small time as that may be compared to other YouTubers, it is a milestone, and I would like to honor that somehow. And I might dedicate that project to that. Alternatively, we're coming up on 50 episodes as well. I think this is episode 37, so not too many more to go, 13 episodes. And with me trying to release episodes weekly, so recently that means every 2 weeks we get a Minecraft episode. That's probably not going to be too far away. It might even be this year still. So I might dedicate it to that, or I might do something different. Still in the planning phase. So I've got the platforms for the big trees. All of the water streams will draw everything to these platforms, where everything will be picked up by the minecarts. I want a wall of nether trees to be able to grow here, all around. And so what I've done is I've got a warped Nylian and a crimson Nylian here. The idea being I can just bone meal from this side all of this to get the warped, or I can bone meal from this side all of this to get the crimson. Here I am doing another redstone episode. I might as well call myself the Redstone Viking now. It will be the same initials, TRV. How is there a gas tier in here? What did I do? Also, I'm going to have to find a spot for a fungus farm. I need to gather these two somehow. Nether trees are interesting in how they grow. So I've just got like an idea. Instead of making a water platform here to catch all of these items, why don't I just focus on one side of the tree? So, they won't... The nether trees will grow regardless, I do believe, of any blocks being in the way. So if I just make a big tall wall here, the tree will grow, but all the blocks on this side will grow as well. But if I make it a solid wall, like 3 thick, and then going up, maybe 4 thick, and then going up, nothing will grow here. I don't know how much of the previous clips I'm going to keep, but I've changed the layout a bit. So the nether trees, I'm going to grow here instead. The reason why I've done that is so that I have space around for more musk farms and potentially other kinds of farms. I know I need a fungus farm as well to grow all the trees. But this gives us ample space for the moss farms and everything. Plus, if I grow the big trees here, they don't really poke out the top. And when I originally planned this thing, I was kind of picturing, you know, not by a lot, but just, you know, trees growing to about here, roughly. So, unfortunately, when I grow a big nether tree, which can grow sometimes, that is the top of where the one of them grew. It's kind of annoying because now it's like kind of flush with this circle. But I think we can work with it. I've got some ideas of how to make it work. and potentially look pretty cool. But we're going to focus on this for now, step by step, as we always do. So I think the next step, I think I want to build maybe two or three more moss farms. I've been looking at how other people kind of interact with their subscribers. So some people do like a donation haul, and then they put the name of the person that donates to the channel up, and yada yada yada. Some people do like a common question of the day thing, like Dallas Med, who I watch religiously because he's such a great YouTuber. I would like to do something as well for you guys, but I have no clue what to do because I want to keep things, you know, as unique as possible. And a lot of stuff has already been done because there's so many YouTubers. I'm not sure. Like, just give me a suggestion if you got one. I'll just keep thinking of something unique to do. And if I can't, I can always, you know, revert to the old, you know, common question of the day or something like that, or comments of the day, comment question of the day. That's I always say comment. Uh, okay, this is refilling as well. Going good so far. Took less time than I thought it would. Those pistons are going, those pistons are going. And all of them are going full as well. And the lever is on. Okay, that seems to be working. Boom, and this is working as well. But once this little test is done, we'll just start up all the farms and see what kind of rates we're getting. So let's do a proper rate test now. Yeah, look, we're getting a decent rate of bone meal in. I mean, in theory, this should be, what, 150 times better than it was? So what have we got at the moment? We're on the second chest. I know what time it is. We're gonna get rid of these. And just see what the test does. There we go, 1 hour went by. Way quicker for you than me. Okay. What did we have the first time? Oh, wow. So, in that previous hour, I got 3 stacks in 1 hour. And now it's that whole thing. Pretty good. Pretty good. So, about 4 hours to fill all of these up. That's not bad. I am very happy with that result. So, I guess the next step is going to move on to the fungus farm, which I've got an idea for. I'm not going to bring you through the whole process. I'm just going to build it and test it. And then I'll bring you back. And so we can do a little stress test on the system. I seem to have got it working. So, I've disabled this for a second. You know what? It doesn't matter. Look. Boom, it works. I'm just going to drop all of the fungus into this system. And it should all get picked up by these minecarts. They have nothing to do with each other, so they shouldn't ever stop. And be dropped off here. See if we can see it happening. Yeah. Yeah, you just picked up some. And then arrive here. And then everything goes into the system. There we go. Nice. Another farm ticked off. Now, how does this all work, you might ask? It works the same as this, minus the stone generators. So a lot of the redstone got cancelled. But a fair bit has been added. Let's just go through the bone meal section first. So there's 2 dispensers over there that need a supply of bone meal. That's in order to dispense both the... to bone meal both the warped and the crimson nylium. So one of those inputs is over here. So we're getting bone meal from these moss farms, going into this farm, and then into that dropper. On this hopper here, once this one is full, this comparator will transfer a signal to this hopper, releasing this in order to grab the bone meal from it and dispense it. back into the original system. So that is going to the auto crafter to be made into bone meal blocks. Now, how do we get bone meal to the other side? So, I don't want any of these sprouts, and I forgot what these were called, but basically the grass that grows on it, I don't want any of that. If I ever need any for decorational purposes, I'll just go to the Nether and harvest them. Or I just filter them out here. I do have the space to do it. But everything is getting collected into these hoppers, dispensed into a water stream. I'm filtering out all of the fungi, and occasionally there's a warped stem that gets generated as well. I filter those out too. But they won't be very many. The rest of them, so all of the grass if you like, will get separated into these composters. They'll get composted and put into this water stream. This water stream ends there and will go to the second dispenser. As soon as that hopper there is full, same principle as the other side, it will relay a signal to this block, which will relay a signal to this piston, retracting it. And then all the bone meal will continue up into this stream over the farm, back into that hopper, and as long as this one is full as well, it should go back into the system to be auto-crafted into blocks. I seem to be obsessed with bone blocks, apparently, because I just don't want too many items to stack up here while all the farms are running. Because if every single farm was on at the same time, I bet it might get laggy, I don't know. I've been conservative, I think. So that's it for the bone meal thing. What else? So this is the input for the farm. I'm going to have a separate on and off switch for it. Rest of it is basically the same as all this, I think. Yeah. Yep, so that's this farm covered. Oof. And in that time, we got a lot more bone meal as well. That's the second chest, which is almost full. And then we've got one more chest to go, and then we can finally test the auto shutout system. So this piston, in theory, will extend, activating this line, and that should activate everything, because that signal should be able to get here, and then all of the farms will shut off. Okay, but now I need to figure out where the switch will go, the on-off switch for the fungus farm, and then I want to focus on this level a little bit, just building up the walls, making an access for this maintenance floor, and then I think I'm going to build another elevator, like maybe fairly central, going up. Two good things to know. My bone meal storage is full, and it activated the line as planned, and all of the farms are, spoiler, all of the farms are shut off. This is such good news, and that should mean if I take, let's say, one stack, what's it gonna do? Boom. It just deactivated that line, and all of the farms, there you go. Oh, look at that. It works perfectly. And as soon as that stack is refilled, it should shut off again. I mean, I think it will. It just did. So there's no reason to think not. So these are now, oops, pressing all the wrong buttons. These are now disposable. Second thing to note, I found what to do with those corners. I just put some leaves up there. It's just so simple. The only thing I'm going to have to keep in mind is when I chop the trees down, let's say I grow a big oak tree right at the end, for example, it might dig into this. So I'm just going to have to be careful of that. Just keep it in mind, and hopefully, you know, we can keep something that resembles like this at the end of it. I put some cherry leaves in there as well for the particle effect. But now that I think of it, I was wondering where I was going to use this. And this seems like a fitting place. Can I fit it in there? Okay, apparently you have to put these on moss blocks. So, Boom. Oh, nice. Look at that. Oh, that is so cool. Wish I had another one. I might just do a hunt for a couple of those because that is cool. When you get far away, you don't see it, but up close. Alright, this is a fairly long episode, so we gotta get a move on now. I might have to do some sharp cuts. Right. This has changed, hasn't it? Don't worry about this. I'll do that in a second. But look at this. Oh my goodness. So I've done the inside of this, as you can see, and I'm in love with it. I am truly in love with it. Look at how spacious it is. And I've left space up here with water, just because if the nether trees grow and they sometimes they leave blocks on the outside of everything, so that should catch everything. But yeah, this is so cool. I went for like a gothic kind of old look. I think I've nailed it. With nether elements, at least. You know, you got all the blackstone, you got the rings of nylon, the fungus, whatever they're called, and then the warped ones. Yes, such a great room. I'm really pleased with this. Forgot I had coffee, and now it's cold. Nothing worse. Oh, so yeah, it's clearly not lossless, but since we're poking out the top of the build now, oh, need to amend that. Since we're poking out the top now, there's nothing I can do about it. You know, I can build up walls, but that would definitely detract from the look of the farm. And obviously the outside is the most important. So obviously right now it's an eyesore. No plan. I have no plan. I have a vague idea, so I want to keep this circle here. Yeah, I want to keep that shape. And then I want a structure at the front, like an entrance sort of house. Maybe something similar to this over here, but like complete out in the open, whereas this is embedded. We'll see what we can do, but I mean, that's not a bad idea. I just came up with that on the spot, to be honest. If it feels like I'm kind of rushing through this, this end part, the redstoney bit, that's what I wanted to rush through, really, because it's already a long episode, and I know that after so many episodes of doing redstone, you're probably sick and tired of it. I was sick and tired of it, to be honest, like, just the amount of tasks, and then the thinking, and then the failing, and the adjusting, like, it's fun, don't get me wrong, but when you're doing it for a couple episodes in succession, you know, it kind of wears down on you. This area I can use for jungle trees, dark oak, and spruce. And the area back there is dedicated for mangrove, which I almost forgot. This lever operates all of these platforms going up, and all of these trapdoors going down. So essentially, I don't want the mangrove trees to turn any of the water source blocks into any of the water blocks like this into source blocks like this, which the roots will do. So as long as I'm planting and bone mealing them in this state, none of the water blocks should turn into source blocks. These might, to be honest, but we'll see. But I mean, the root, it shouldn't go that far. That's the thing. Like, this root, honestly, it has 6 chances of turning something into a water source block, and it might just do this back line anyway, which is easily fixed. And then, yeah, if I pull the lever again, I'll show you. Boom. Trapdoors, all the platforms go down, trapdoors go down, and the water flows all the way to the middle. And that is just hooked up to this dropper dispenser into the main system below here. So I don't want to gloss over this moment. This is huge. With this functioning, right behind me, that means that all of the tree farm, redstone-wise, is complete. 100%. And there's a couple of things I want to do to the look of the tree farm to kind of spruce it up. I've got some ideas to spruce it up, incorporate more of these structures because I don't feel like they're very prevalent going up. And once that is done, hopefully next episode, the whole tree farm is done. And then we can focus on the landscape, which is going to be a whole new set of challenges for me. But guys, I retained your attention far too long, and hopefully I was able to entertain you a little bit. I had fun doing this redstone. It was a chore, for sure, but it was fun as well at the same time. And I'm really glad with the nether room that we made. It's really, really nice. And, you know, every step that we take is going further and further into completion of this. So, you know, how can you complain about that? I can't. But guys, I had fun making this episode, and I hope you enjoyed watching it. And I do hope to see you in the next episode. See you guys.